Hi,
I'm Amy.
and I'm Laura.
And we are Two Paper Girls.
We're back with another Top 5 Wednesday. Sorry we didn't do last week's, but we haven't really read any novellas. We couldn't get 5 between us, so we thought we'd just leave that week and move on to this week because we really like the look of this one.
This week's Top 5 Wednesday is books you did not finish, or DFA.
DNF, not DFA. DFA mean?
I don't know.
Didn't finish it.
This week's Top 5 Wednesday is books you did not finish. When I was a kid, I always used to not finish books, and Laura got me out of that. And now Laura doesn't finish books, and I always finish them, even if I can't stand them. So I've had a bit of a role reversal. But these books probably going to put us in a bad mood because we really hated them. So we're just going to get straight into it.
My number 5 is The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. This was my first ever time trying to read a Neil Gaiman book, and yeah, I don't know. I really struggle with middle grade books when it's written in a kiddie way. I just can't really get into it. I even struggle with the early Harry Potter books, but I've got all the nostalgia, so I still enjoy reading those. But yeah, it was too kiddie. It wasn't really what I was expecting, but it's number 5 because I might give it another go because I think now I know what to expect going into it. I might enjoy it, but I didn't finish it. I got about 50 pages in.
And my number 5 is Catch-22 by Joseph Geller, because I really wanted to read this book because at the time it was one of my friends' favourites, and I really wanted to read it because it sounded good about World War II, but it's really big, and the perspective and the way it was written was really confusing, and my poor little child mind, I wasn't a child, I was about 15, 16, couldn't comprehend it. That's quite embarrassing. But yeah, I actually want to give this book a go, but I didn't finish it.
My number 4 choice is The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. I just bought this book because it was J.K. Rowling, and it was huge and contemporary and just not the sort of thing that I do read or did read at the time. I got about halfway through it, but it took me ages and I just wanted to read other things. So I put it to one side, but I might pick it up. I think I'd enjoy it more the older I get. I think I'd find it more interesting and if I knew what to expect from it. But yeah, I didn't enjoy it the first time I picked it up.
My number 4 is Beautiful Creatures by, I don't remember. Have a look. It's a series. I know it goes Beautiful Creatures, Beautiful Darkness, something like that. Yeah, I didn't like this. I tried to read it and I enjoyed the first bit, then I got confused again. These books just end up with me getting confused and stopping. I can't remember why. This was a very long time ago. I've finished books a lot recently, so all of these are from ages ago, but I remember not really liking this very much.
My number 3 choice is The Martian by Andy Weir. If you saw our October wrap-up, you saw me have a little rant about this book. I've done it at number 4 because I've heard new things about how there's lots of multiple perspectives, which I do like, and it will take it away from the main character because who I didn't like. So I might give this one another go. I got about 70 pages in. I've still got my bookmark in it. I'm kind of hoping to get round to it, but I don't know when it's going to happen. I didn't finish it the first time round, but I want to persevere with this one.
My number 3 is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, because I didn't like how it's written. I don't like the accents, I don't like the storyline, I don't like Harper Lee. I really don't like it. I'm not ever going to read this again, even though I was like, oh, it's so good, and To Kill a Watchman. No, To Set a Watchman. I didn't like it.
My number 2 choice is Trainspotting by Irvine Welsh. This is a pretty recent DNF'd book. I put this down last April or so. I had to read it for university. I think I managed about 20 pages. But the way it was written and the story just completely didn't appeal to me. I only picked it up because I was told that I had to. But then I just didn't write on that book in my exam and it was fine. I just ignored it. It was all written in Scottish dialect. It was all about getting high and it was really long. I think if it was like 200 pages I would have carried on, but I knew I would never get around to finishing it or really wasn't a fan of it.
My number 2 is The Resistance by Gemma Malley, which is actually the second book in the Declaration series when everyone has like the longevity, and I was like, longevity. When I was a kid I used to call it longevity.
Oh.
And now it's stuck in my head as that, but it's actually longevity. It's where people can't die and they're like, this shouldn't happen, we should be allowed to die. And I just don't like it. I mean, Gemma Malley's style of writing is quite kiddie, even though it's young adult kind of topics, which I don't find it easy to get into at all. But it was alright. I mean, I tried to get into the series, it didn't happen. And the blurbs, always Gemma Malley's blurbs, are really good.
I read a book by her called The Killables. It sounded amazing and it was just so samey dystopia. It was really bad.
So that's why she's at number 2.
My number 1 book that I didn't get around to finishing is Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. This is number 1 because I didn't finish it because I absolutely hated it. It was the first book I had to read for university. They were so cruel, setting us this huge, like 650-page monster to intimidate us before we even got to uni. And yeah, I got so stressed out about not finishing it because I was like, oh my god, I'm failing university before I've even started. And I tried reading 5 pages and doing a race on Mario Kart to finish it. I came up with all these stupid methods to try and finish it, but it was so boring, and it said he for everyone in like basically an entirely male cast of characters. So it was really confusing. It was a subject matter I don't care about. I tried watching The Tudors to get me into the time period, but I just hate historical fiction to death. I hate it so much. So like, it's not the book for me. Hated it.
And my most hated DNF book is Allegiant by Veronica Roth. I really liked Allegiant. No. Divergent. I get them all mixed up in my head because I've just pushed it to the back of my mind, like that just didn't happen, the ending didn't happen. I googled it and I was like, yay! That happens, and I can't believe I wished for the death. I'm so happy that they're doing it better in the films. I'm really enjoying the films, and I'm like, I'm going to actually feel in Allegiant in the film, but the book, I couldn't read it. I was reading it and I tried, I got about halfway through and I just thought, I need to stop, this is just hurting. And it did hurt me to not finish because it was a Christmas present. And I really wanted to like it, but I just couldn't.
That's it for this week's Top 5 Wednesday. I really like this topic because it's interesting to hear the reasons people couldn't get through books. And yeah, I always used to say to Amy, you can't judge a book until you finished all of it. Whereas now I'm just like, I've got such a big TBR. I don't want to waste my time on books I don't enjoy because I know I have so many books waiting for me that I will. So I just can't be doing with books I don't like anymore.
Let us know which books you didn't finish, and we'll see you on the next Top 5 Wednesday. Bye!